But I just want to thank you guys before we jump into the last session. I just want to thank you for what you guys do. Whether you're a team lead in your class or not, what you guys do is so impactful in the lives of these kids. And I just want you to know that you are literally changing lives for eternity. So if you hear nothing else that I say today, remember that. You are changing lives for eternity by what you do, by your faithfulness and commitment to being here on a weekly basis, or however often you're here. You are changing lives for eternity. Okay. We're going to jump into our third session on what it means to lead a team. And we're going to talk about what it would mean to run your class in a way that is both successful and secure. As a team lead, it's your responsibility to make sure that your class is successful and secure. So one of the first ways that you can make sure that your class is successful is by making sure that you have enough volunteers in your classroom environment for a successful class. Sometimes it can kind of go unnoticed because you are doing all of the work and picking up all the slack of what type of people or what would help your classroom environment. So I need you to let us know that it would be helpful if you had somebody in there that could lead the worship time. Or it would be helpful to your class if you had somebody in there that was good with games. Or whatever it might be that your class would maybe be lacking, I need to know so that as I bring new volunteers in, I can better match people up for your classroom environment. You also might be wondering, well, there's only been 2 or 3 of us and we have 100 kids and we just make it work every week. I need you to be reminding me that your class is a class I need to focus on as I bring in new volunteers. And then I need you to do a favor for me is if I bring somebody new in, then make them feel known and make them feel needed. Okay, the worst thing is if I bring a person into a classroom because you need somebody, you've told me you need them, and I bring them in and then they get ignored or they stand in the back or you think that they're supposed to somehow have prior training or there's something that we're supposed to do to make them get involved or you're waiting for them to step in and say, okay, I'm ready to do the games. So I want to encourage you as a team lead, make sure that they feel known and needed so that your classroom can be successful. Okay? You need volunteers. You need people in your classroom. That means I need to know if people are not going to be there. So if they've told you, or maybe they've told the coordinator or somebody, they need to be informing you of their absence. And then you need to be doing me a favor as a team lead. If you're going to be absent, it's harder to replace the lead in the room than it is to replace any other helper in the room. So if you're going to be absent, you need to do me a favor by asking people in your room if they want to take the lead for the week. That way, when I bring somebody else in, they're not being expected to lead the class. They're going to be a helper, and the people that you have working with you and around you, they're prepared and they're ready to lead for the week that you're gone. So notify me if somebody in your classroom is going to be absent. We have some ministry objectives, some goals, desires that we have for our ministry here at Maranatha. One is to make sure that our vision is not only clear, but it's accomplished, that we're successful in bringing about our vision, that kids would know God's love. That is our number one desire. When they come to this place and then they leave, they should know that God loves them. You should tell them that God loves them. Use those words, God loves you. Find a way to express that love to them. Share with them about the love that Jesus had for them and died for them on the cross. They should know and experience God's love every single week. They should then know how to show that love to others. The mission of Maranatha Chapel Children's Ministry is that as kids leave here, knowing that God loves them, they would then go out into the world and show others that God loves them. We want to have the goal of partnering with the parents. So as they come in, you're going to talk with them, you're going to pray with them, you're going to find out ways to encourage them, or like I said before, you're going to find out ways to get them the resources that they need. So we want to partner with our parents. We value unity and creativity. There's a lot of classroom environments where we all need to be on the same page, especially in larger environments like the kindergarten through third grade. If we're all on different pages, it's going to make other classrooms be less successful. So we need to be unified in the way that we're approaching the ministry. You as a team of people, whoever is working in your classroom, need to be unified in the way that you're going to approach the schedule for the day, who's going to be doing the teaching. Okay, it doesn't help if you're talking over one another or you're kind of standing in the back, you don't know what's coming next. So you need to talk about those things so you can be unified. We also want to be creative in our approach. We don't want to just do the same thing every single week. Just, this is how we did it last week, this is how we did it last week. I want you to be creative in bringing snacks for the kids, or have a show for the kids as you present the Bible story, or do something that you think is creative, that you enjoy doing, that the team can come around you to present the information in a way that's going to be exciting, enticing to the kids. We also want to make sure that our environments are safe and fun. Okay? It needs to be a safe environment. If they're running around like crazy, jumping off the walls, getting hurt every week, their parents aren't going to want to bring them back. Okay? But we also want to make sure it's fun. So don't just sit them down in uniform little things and they have to sit like robots for an hour and a half listening to you talk at them. Okay? So we want to make sure that they're safe environments that are also fun environments for the kids to come to. As the team lead, it's your responsibility to set the tone for the classroom environment. If you're nervous or unsure of what's happening or don't know what to do, that's going to trickle down to the people that are working with you, and the class is going to turn into chaos. So it's your responsibility to set a confident tone, smile, welcome people as they're coming in, help people to feel that you know what you're doing and that you have a handle on what's happening. If you need help, you can radio for a coordinator or bring somebody else in that can help you for the time that you need. Okay, we also want to make sure that you ensure that the classroom schedule, procedures, and curriculum are followed. Okay, we set those things up for a reason. We want them to be utilized. So follow a schedule so that the people working with you can know what's coming next. Okay, use ministry protocols, because if something goes wrong, there's ways that we've talked about and how to fix it. If you're not sure what those things are, go on to the resource website and maybe get a refresher on how the check-in or check-out happens, or what happens in case of a nosebleed or something like that, how you should handle those situations. We have videos and other resources on there on how to handle situations as they arise. And then make sure you're following the curriculum. We do a good job of trying to make sure there's biblical curriculum that's got content that's going to be age appropriate. And so it's important to follow the curriculum that we're instructing you to use. But you can also use that curriculum to the fullest. So you don't have to just simply read the script. You can go off script, bring in other activities or things that you want to do for your classroom. That's, again, trying to be creative. You also want to make sure that the classroom is secure. It needs to be a safe environment for the kids. So that starts with the check-in and check-out process. That's the part that the parents see. So we want to put our best foot forward when they come in. We want to welcome them. We want to follow the protocols, putting the sticker in the right place, and making sure that as the parents are coming to pick up, that we're matching the stickers and doing everything properly so that we don't lose any children, especially if we move from one area of the campus to another throughout the course of the day. You want to make sure you're counting your kids and knowing who's supposed to be there, having people around the areas of the classroom, especially if there's easy exits to the class. You should have adults stationed at various places so that the kids are safe. And then finally, we want to make sure that you know and follow the Safe Hive protocols. So you should have first aid training, CPR training, sexual abuse awareness. We've added a active shooter training, as well as training about Maranatha. So you need to have gone through those trainings. If you haven't, then please visit them online at our Maranatha Resources website and go through those trainings, as well as any other training that you need to be a team lead. So it's your responsibility as the team lead, again, to make sure that your classroom is successful and secure.
Thank you for watching part 3 to the Team Lead meeting. We hope these videos have helped to better equip you for the ministry God has entrusted to us all. If you are able, please watch the next section that finalized our team meeting, the Q&A session. And thank you for being a team lead.